What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Lagged Out Podcast, episode 49.
49. Wait, no. There we go.
I was waiting for you to mess up my intro again, but welcome back, y'all, where we talk about anything video game related. I'm Adam, and Joe is right there. Hello, Joe.
I am maniacally rubbing my hands like an evil maniacal maniac.
I hate that.
Who maniacs manically?
Manically?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Lagged Out Podcast. This is one of the
nighttime
times
edition.
What's up?
I said the nighttime edition.
Yeah, so we do usually a nighttime one once every month on a Friday.
Every third podcast is nighttime edition.
Yeah, nighttime edition Lagged Out.
Essentially. Dude, it's a good thing we had that light box.
Oh, yeah. Light box right here.
Dude, it's not even turned on.
I know.
How people know that we're live right now?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Hold on, chat.
What up, Selena? That's right. Wash your hands, kids. Yes, and that's exactly what I'm totally
Plug it in
doing,
under this
I
chat.
totally
Hold on.
have hand sanitizer. I did actually just use the bathroom before this and did wash my hands. So
Lagged Out is on. All right. Cool.
all right, cool. We're live now. We can
But
officially start.
what
Time
is
to
up,
review the
everyone? Thank you for being here. If you ever want to come watch us live, it is Probably Got This on Twitch,
Pretty
and
manual.
Joe is Joe the Joe on Twitch as well. But Joe,
chat. Yes.
what have you been up to?
Pulling my hair out
Why?
because I was trying to record a video today, and all day there was just noise everywhere. Whether it was from outside, whether it was from inside the house, it was it was not good. So I still get to record it, and now everyone's asleep, and now I'm doing a podcast. So good thing it's the weekend, because if they get woken up by me like shouting, oh well.
Were you doing it outside or something? Or
No, but
just
like
a lot of noises
I'm
outside?
I'm like at the front of the house basically. So like if someone opens our super squeaky front door, you hear it. If the garbage man goes by on the road, you hear it, just because this room that I'm in sucks for audio things. So
You could try filling it with like padded stuff or furniture. It would help, kind of.
I could. The problem is
I'm just saying.
There's no room. There's a giant elliptical machine back here that we don't have room to put anywhere else.
Okay.
So, and it actually gets used, so I can't just like make the argument, well, no one uses it, let's just like throw it in the garage or something. So
I know it does look tiny at this angle. I got to put it like somewhere where it's like, the problem is I need like another camera angle for the light box. Let's put it like right here.
Joe Rogan.
Well,
Wonder when he's going to start talking about
Joe-
DMT, MMA, and hunting. What about Fear Factor? FF.
Oh my gosh. So how is the YouTube channel going? Because you just started that up again.
Yeah. So
Cinder.
got 3 videos, had 5 like essentially recorded, right? I just had to do commentary over like the gameplay. Had 5 like gameplay videos recorded. Great. Getting ready to do the 4th one. Blue screen of death on my computer. Out of nowhere. Don't know why it happened. And then tried to, restart the computer, loaded it up, started the commentary, everything looked fine. Got like 20 minutes into like the 25 minutes of like video that there was, blue screen of death. So
Was that after you talked to me?
that was like the same day basically.
But did you actually get it ended up like exporting?
No. So I spent like that whole day just like cleaning out my computer, both physically and like digitally. Because like, so for a little context, I got a pre-built computer from NZXT, great company if you need a pre-build. Not sponsored though. Hashtag sponsor us. So I got it back in 2019, and since then I have not once cleaned it out like physically. Like, so there was dust
Bad
of like
PC
2+ years basically, like clogging up like the vents and everything. Now like I kind of almost wish I didn't, because now like it's really noisy because like there's nothing like to muffle the sound. But it's fine, I guess. So yeah. Now it works. I also like updated Windows and like Adobe and everything. So everything works now. So yeah.
Well, What's up, Bronette?
Hi, Bronette.
Hey, yeah, Bake said that if he gets a resin printer, he will make you a Pokemon.
Do I
That's
get
what
to
he
choose?
said. I don't know. Will he get to choose, Bakes? Well, that kind of sucks, dude. But did it? So, do you think you're gonna end up just getting a new one eventually, or do you think? What do you
Eventually, but like I got this in 2019. It's like 2.5 years old, which isn't
Yeah.
that old
And
for a computer. So like
it's kind of tough, and it's kind of tough right now, just because like
Yeah.
PC parts are just kind of ridiculous still.
GPUs
and-
mostly.
Like yeah, and normally like you can build your PC, for quicker or for cheaper. But right now it's kind of like yeah.
Yep.
Seriously, you need.
What have you been up to?
Just need the Joe Rogan man cave. I know, right? So what I've been up to is we got partner last weekend on Twitch, which is awesome.
Round of applause.
That was really cool. Pretty surprising. I didn't even know I was partner. I'm pretty sure when we recorded the podcast, I was actually a partner, and I didn't even know it because I saw it after the fact. But face to face podcast, yeah, I know, right? I control it, but yeah, that was pretty cool. So we finally made that milestone. Next goal is to get Joe to partner and get you 100 YouTube subs, and then 1,000, and then 10,000. But what'd you say?
I said, and then 1 million.
Yeah, and then 1 million.
We're skipping 100K altogether. Also high waffle.
But yeah, that's what I was up to. Played streamed and played the new DLC some more, or just playing ESO, trying to get characters kind of brought up to speed, just because it's like a whole new patch and got to basically rebuild each character for the most part. So it's been pretty fun. What are you about to go eat, Bronette? What are you about to go eat? You gonna get some cheesecake? Oh my gosh, you're getting cheesecake. But yeah, so it's been a good week for the most part. But that's what I've been up to. Have you opened your PS5 yet?
Nope.
Hate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, besides that, been playing ESO. I've been really excited. It's actually been the update has really made me excited to actually grind stuff again on the game. Like I get excited playing the game. And doing certain things in there. Like there's still things I was like tuning out, but this new update really kind of brought a fresh thing for me, because like it allowed me to like really just rebuild all my characters again. And I feel like the build diversity is just like so much different now, and I really do like it. I bought cheesecakes and tiramisu at the store. Why? Open the PS5. It's not a collectible. What is this?
I love how Ronette's yelling at me in the chat. She says, "Joe, open the PSF." She's like,
The
typoing, by the way.
PSF. Open
It's not a
the
collectible. What is
PSF.
RIS?
Per square, or no, what is it? PSF, 2000 PSF. That's per, what is that? Per, gosh, I use that in my job. Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Huge slab of pork belly days. So too bad. So good, so bad. Nice. I want to know what
Alexis
Joe is actually playing these days. Joe's been playing Monster Hunter with me when I can play, and then we're probably gonna be
apparently never now.
Well, no, dude, I would play Monster Hunter with you, but I just haven't had time.
But I'm just so busy. Oh my god.
No, but we will be playing Rise on Switch though.
Will we? Will we though? Will we?
No, literally next weekend.
I don't think
playing
so.
Rise. So
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
dude, you better be there.
Bro, I'll be there. The question is, will you be? But I'm so busy. Oh, I can't play.
No, I really will be there. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. But this is kind of on the topic of what we're going to talk about today, and we can kind of talk more about Rise later. But I want to talk about video game controllers and which video game controllers are the best in a ranking. So tier list for video game controllers, bro. Making that, what is that? Oh, okay. Because it reminds me, because the Switch controller is the first one on our list. We will show this in a second, or we'll go through them. But off the top of your head right now, what is your favorite video game controller? And we'll go through the list and everything too. But which one is your favorite of all time that you can think of?
PS4.
PS4.
Yep.
Okay, I think I would agree. I
You
think I would agree with you.
can't beat it.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. But yeah, so I am excited though to play Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch controller. I do like the Switch controller, but
Now, when you say
out.
Switch controller, do you mean the Joy-Cons or like the Pro
I mean,
controller?
like the whole interface. I like the whole interface technically.
Okay.
I'm just kind of I'm just counting that as a Switch controller because, I mean, you could put it on the like little adapter thing, I guess, you know, like the little thing that it comes with. But I mean, most time you just play it on the actual console. You know what I mean?
Unless
But-
you're streaming it.
True. Can you not stream it like that? Is there any way you could?
No,
or
because
no?
it has to be docked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't we just jump in to our
So
tier
how are
list right
we
now?
gonna do this exactly?
So all we're gonna do is, so you know how the tier list is there, right? And it's got all the like the
Right.
Switch one's the first one.
No, I understand how we're gonna do the tier list. I'm just like, in terms of like technical things, are we just
So-
gonna show our screens or
Yeah. So like you mean for the video?
yes?
Yeah. So what we could do is, hold on, let me get this one up. So what we could do is, it's like I'm not gonna show my face on this one, but basically, like what you
should
could
show your
do
face.
is you could either crop this or like we're gonna go one by one. So you could just switch screens. So like, so we'll start with the Switch controller. I'll say why
At least-
I'm
at least
ranking
put
it.
your face up, so
Okay.
people don't get confused.
Well, I mean, I could. Let me see. Hold on.
Just
I'm ranking
put your face up first.
Okay,
We can cut this out if we need to, but we won't.
it's fine. I don't care. This is all part of the experience of the live show, y'all. This is nighttime lagged out. Okay. So basically,
Alright, so
Joe, what
we're
I'm thinking
swapping
is,
screens,
what I'm thinking is, it's like
basically.
on the video, you just switch to each person, each person when they're talking about it, and then, we'll do that or whatever.
Okay.
So you want to go first on yours? And tell me where you rank the Switch controller. And you might have to tell me, dude, what some of these controllers are, because I can't. The pictures are kind of bad.
Some of them I feel like are duplicates technically, but I'm not entirely sure. But it's whatever. Okay.
Yeah, this is a
Hold on, let
pre-made
me-
template. It's a yeah.
Hello, hi.
Okay.
This is me. We'll do.
So
this
you
as
want to
well.
start off?
We'll do full screen. Boom. All right. So first one is the Switch Joy-Cons here.
Okay.
I ranked these as C.
Okay. Explain
right.
why you rank them as.
So in concept, it's kind of cool. You have one controller for each hand that you can turn into like one controller per player. But like the buttons are super small. And I just don't like having the buttons be as tiny as they are. And they're not they're not the most responsive buttons I've had. Like PlayStation and Xbox buttons are like, you push it and like it goes right away. This one, it's like, it doesn't have the same feel or feedback to it. And then the main thing is just they're so freaking small. And then there's like 2 or 3 different like shoulder buttons or something like that. And like those are way too small. It's mostly just like the size thing really for me.
Okay.
So that's where I ranked them.
Okay. So I have multiple explanations for this one.
Okay.
If I had to rank the Switch controller based off of dissections of the
Joy-Cons,
controller,
Yes.
okay, dissections of the controller, the bumpers would get an X tier, just terrible. And the joysticks as well. When they are apart. Now, I am ranking this as it's attached to the console because that's the only way I play it. If I was ranking it for just the controllers, like the sticks, I would probably put it
Yeah.
at D because you're right. My hands are massive. And they're just really small. But since I am taking in context that I'm using it with the system, I love the feel when it's on the system. So I'm gonna rank it at a B tier.
Yo, what up, VCat?
With the system, just because I do think it feels right when you have it attached to your actual system. But when
Yeah.
it's not attached to it, it does bring it down for me. But I will say in general, the bumpers feel really cheap, in my opinion. Like they feel like they could break pretty easily. And when you click in the analog sticks,
yeah, I
that
forgot you
also
could do
feels
that.
really janky. I don't know about you.
Yeah. So what was next? Well,
So, yeah, that's my ranking B tier. So you want me to go next on the? You want me to alternate?
we could just go back and forth.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so the
So
next one
this is like
is it the Pro Controller Xbox or what is this?
this is like the Xbox 360, I think.
Yeah, because the one next to it's the original
OG
Xbox.
controller for the 360.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
so that's the 360. Okay, that's the 360. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, so
because it has like the
I
little
have
button,
some
but it has,
some
like, the
ranting to do
rings.
on this one. I'm excited.
I put this at A because like 360 is a solid controller.
Okay.
The console itself, it's good, but like Red Ring of Death, so PS3 is way better.
GTA,
But
GTA
this
5.
is just this is just the controller. It's pretty responsive. I do one thing I do like about Xbox is the what's it called, the analog sticks have like the indentation, whereas like with PlayStation they sort of like bump out, if that makes like they're convex instead of concave for PlayStation, but these ones are concave, which I kind of like. What did you just drop?
Sorry, chat. Don't worry about it, chat.
But yeah, the buttons are responsive. You have some nice shoulder buttons, the triggers and the bumpers. It is a little bit on the heavy side, but like it's still a pretty solid controller overall, in my opinion. So your turn.
Okay. Let me get this set up again. So you have it as A tier.
Yes.
The 360 to me, I hate the analog sticks on 360. They feel like when I play Call of Duty, okay, that's the only thing I've played other games on 360. They feel like when you move the thumbstick, like it feels like your joystick, it's like either it feels delayed and it doesn't feel like it moves to the depth or the length that you move the joystick. So like if I like move the joystick up, it feels like I move slower than I usually it doesn't feel real time. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Interesting.
Okay. So that's really my only gripe with it. He's using a controller excuse to be bad at COD. I'm not bad at COD. I still do well. But I don't like the way the joysticks feel. They always feel like they lag behind. I don't know why, but it's like I feel like when I push it up, it doesn't go up as much.
Yeah, he's bad at COD.
I will say though, I like the triggers a lot on the Xbox. It feels nice on the hands as well. Got a nice curvature and everything. So I think for me, I'm gonna put that at B tier.
Interesting.
Because
same
it's not
as the Switch Joy-Cons. Interesting.
Yeah, because it's not at the A yet for me because I really don't like the joysticks. So they really get me.
Yeah, one thing I will say that Xbox I kind of like better on Xbox controllers than PlayStation ones are the triggers, like the right
I do
trigger,
agree.
left trigger.
I just
agree. Like they feel more like triggers, whereas like on PlayStation, they're sort of trigger-esque in like how they work. They're not just buttons that you push in. They sort of like slide back and forth or like rock. But like I don't know, the Xbox ones feel more like triggers than just like buttons you push in.
Yeah. I definitely agree. And Bake said, but all of them had best click response on thumbsticks. Yeah, they did have good click responses. Okay.
So now we have the OG Xbox controller.
The OG Xbox.
I put this one at D tier.
D tier? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
Because I don't remember very much about this controller. But like just look at it. Just look at it.
Ugly,
just look at it.
It's ugly, bro.
Right. No, yeah, it's ugly. It's very like early 2000s, like
it's a UFO.
Edgelord like design. You have like excess buttons for like no reason. Like you have like your main like A, B, X, Y buttons, but then you have like freaking black and white buttons, and it's like, what do they do again? Like I don't remember. One thing I also don't like about the earlier Xbox controllers is that, and even just like most controllers in general, is that the D-pad is like a circle. So it's like you would push to like go left or right, but you would like accidentally push up or like down, and then you like wouldn't move like the way you want to exactly. And that always annoys me when the D-pad's not just like the left or right buttons or something. Like if I want to go diagonal, let me just push both buttons. Like it's not that hard to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then just like the shape of it is just like it just looks weird. It's just a brick, like whoever said that. But yeah.
Okay, I would have to agree. I'm going instant D tier for Xbox original controller. First of all, design terrible. Looks like a UFO, like Kenzev said. Absolutely god awful design, just terrible. And I remember this thing. Like I feel like when I played Halo 1 with this in my friend's house, I was like I would die because like literally I would like I feel like the what is it like the not the directional buttons but the
Analog.
like the input buttons like the A B like the X Y B X or whatever it is on Xbox was it B A X Y
Yeah.
just felt weird to me. So instant D tier for me on that one. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I was terrible at Halo bakes 100%, but the Xbox controller was trash. Just wait till we get to the Dreamcast controller.
Okay. So next
controller.
we have the SNES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the SNES. I put this one at A.
Okay.
So the reason being, it's like one of the OG. It's like the second gen OG, basically. This was like when gaming controllers were really starting to like figure out like what they needed to do to like enable gamers. They added 2 new buttons. They added the shoulder buttons, and they had the freaking just select start and a functioning D-pad that didn't look like a freaking circle. It's very responsive controller. The buttons like the A, B, X, Y were like super responsive, and you could just click them and like you would jump or like you would punch or do whatever your character was. And this like set the trend for like all like future like gaming controllers basically. Because like the one before this, just the NES just had like 2 buttons basically, and that was it. So for that reason, I put it at A. And like it's just so much better than its predecessor. Like the leap from like Gen 1 to Gen 2 essentially is like super good.
Okay. I'm putting the SNES at S tier.
S tier. Wow, I thought we would have actually put that lower. I'm a little surprised.
S tier because I remember playing with this controller when I was really young in elementary school. My friend had one of these, and it was one of the first systems I really learned besides Game Boy. But I think it's S tier for a lot of the reasons you said it, but also just like it's so simple, and I remember it being so easy to learn the controls of games, and that is why, like, for me, I feel like in a controller, that's kind of what I'm looking for a lot of times. It's just so simple, so easy. The directional pad, you got the buttons on the right. It was so good. I think it's an easy S tier. So
Grand Lich makes a good point. It fit into your hand pretty well. Like it wasn't too big, like the freaking original Xbox controller, and it wasn't too small, like the Joy-Cons. Like it was like the perfect size for like whether you're like a kid or an adult or whatever. The one like complaint I had, and it's such like a minute, like unnecessary complaint, is that the B button, like the A B button and like X and Y are like different from what they are like nowadays. So like the bottommost button is B, and then the right button is A. Whereas now bottom would be A and then right would be B. That's my only like complaint, but it's not even like a complaint necessarily. But yeah.
Okay. All right. Next comes
the granddaddy of all controllers.
The granddaddy of all controllers.
I mean, do I even have to say anything? Like, it speaks for itself, dude.
I want the PS5. I want to try the PS5 controller, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
me too.
Oh my, I hate you so much.
So when we were setting this up, Adam was like, yo, add some more if you can. And I don't know how, because like this is a pre-made template. I think I would
you
have
can
to
make your own. We can make our
own.
own.
I would have to make my own, but that involves like getting all these pictures and like downloading them, saving them, whatever, and like then making it. It would just be like 20 minutes I didn't feel like spending on this. And this has most of them anyways. But I was going to put the PS5 on here just as like a joke, because none of us have touched a controller from that yet. But yeah, PS4, freaking god tier controller, the first S tier controller. People complain about the thumbsticks. I disagree. I prefer these thumbsticks just because, like, why would you want your thumbs to be like mismatched? That's so weird. This way they can both do the same thing. And also, especially for games where it requires you to rotate the thumbsticks, this puts them in a position where you can literally get both of the thumbsticks with just your palm basically and rotate them that way. Whereas the Xbox, you can't do that. So also they have the freaking touchpad,
That's a god tier tip.
which is also a button. So it's like, oh, you need like a freaking like photo mode button. You just click the freaking touchpad, no big deal. Or you could do innovative things with it, like play guitar on Last of Us 2 or something like that. The triggers were also really freaking good with this. Like both the triggers and the bumpers were really good with this iteration. D-pad always solid, not a freaking circle. If it's a circle, it's like automatically like B tier or lower, basically for me. The analog sticks were like pretty nice feeling, and like the click from like the feedback is just like I can like, yeah, you hear that? It's so good and like so responsive, and like it hardly like ever wears out. So yeah, okay. S tier.
I'm gonna have to agree. S tier for PS4 controller. Here's why, y'all. And if you don't believe this, I don't know why, but no, I'm just kidding. But I like the analogs way. Like, here's the thing, y'all. Biggest thing for controllers: simplicity, response time, and sometimes aesthetics. But really, simplicity and response time. The PS4 controller has one of the best responsive times I think on any controller I've ever used. Like when you use the analogs, they feel like you're actually moving to how you're moving. I do agree with Joe. It is nice having them closer. That's just my opinion. I don't like the Xbox ones being farther away. It's just not my thing. The triggers, they're not. They're a lot better. Like, believe me, I think there's some PS controllers that are pretty bad. Okay, and we will get to those. But the PS4 one, I really like the triggers. And the touchpad is just a really nice feature of the PS4. Like, it was really well integrated on the system. I don't know who here had a PS4 or anything like that, but really, really good controller. I love the response time of it. Just so good. But yeah, S tier for me, easy. Please tell me what this next one is. I can't tell with the picture.
I honestly have no idea.
I can't see. Can anyone see what this is? It looks It looks like a.
I feel like it's like a Sega controller.
Sega. Okay.
Sega. It's not Genesis. I think it's Sega Saturn. Yeah, that's Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn. Okay. The next one is Sega Genesis, I think.
Yeah, the next one after that is Genesis.
Okay.
So I never played on the Saturn. And this has a circle as the D-pad, so it's automatically B or less for me. But I believe I actually put this at C, just because like. I don't know. I've never played it. It's got like 6 buttons, if I recall correctly. It has like 1 button for like the start. And I honestly don't know if those are shoulder buttons or just like shoulders on the top there. But yeah, there's a reason the Sega Saturn.
You can add something you say not used before. You could just go to the settings button. So do the gear icon and go add row below.
Okay, I'm still putting it at C though.
Okay, I'm just letting you know.
I don't care. Like just based off design, like it looks like they tried to make the Genesis controller like better, but they just made it like overly like busy, I guess. Like because they went from 3 buttons to 6, and then they have like the weird like bumps on the top, which may be buttons, but they're very like they're protruding a lot, which I don't really get. So. Okay. Yeah, it's C tier for me. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a cheap like like third party knockoff controller, even though it's like a mainline console controller. So okay. There's a reason the Saturn didn't do very well, and I'm just gonna blame it on the controller.
Okay, I won't use that road then. I'll just do what you did since because I don't think I've ever played on a Saturn either. Yeah. But just by looking at it, I hate it. It's going D. It's going D, easy D. Like. I don't know what that curve is. It's like a boomerang curve. Like that doesn't look comfortable at all when I hold that. So I'm going to go easy D on that one.
Yeah.
All right, all. You have a good day or good night. You only use those buttons for Mortal Kombat. Okay. Okay. So the next one's Sega Genesis.
All right. Sega Genesis. This one I put at B.
B?
Yes. Reason being pretty solid controller. The buttons are pretty nice. Also, it's a little weird how like the start button looks like a tic tac or something like that, but I kind of dig it. Um, this controller didn't have a lot going for it though. It's just three buttons. It's like they tried to like they saw what Nintendo did. They're like, oh, okay, so they have like a start, a select, a D-pad, and two buttons basically on the NES controller. So let's do three buttons, right? But like they didn't have like a select button if I recall correctly. Um, and they had like the circle D-pad, which again I'm not a huge fan of, but like for this controller, it wasn't the worst.
Good night, all.
It was pretty good with like, oh, you're going left. Okay, we'll go left, not like jump left or whatever, or like duck left. But yeah, I mean, it's just a solid B tier. I mean, it didn't do anything like crazy different than like the NES other than just having one extra button, technically.
Okay.
So
I don't recall playing a bunch on the Sega Genesis, but I feel like I have a little bit.
yeah,
For me,
Bakes makes a good point too. The C button was like just it didn't get a lot of use either because most games just used A and B. So C would either just like do A or B or like just nothing or something.
yeah, what I remember from it, I didn't like it a lot. I'm gonna go C tier on it. It was like I think it felt better than the original Xbox controller, but I think the button layout to me was a little weird. If I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, but yeah, I'm gonna go C tier with Sega Genesis.
Interesting. Okay. So next up we have the Wii U Gamepad, which is
So
just
so that's different than the Wii U.
no, this is the Wii U.
Oh, it's just the gamepad. Oh, okay.
So Nintendo was like, hey, the Wii was our most successful console ever. Let's just remake it by adding another letter and giving people like a little like gamepad to go with it, basically. This is D tier for me. Reason being, it's like a Switch, but like it sucks. And you can't detach like the sides at all to get to like individual controllers or anything. And like the concept is like kind of cool, but there's also a reason that like the Wii U is their worst selling console of all time because like nothing really ever came out of the gamepad and stuff like that. Cause like you could play like Super Mario Bros. Like Wii U Deluxe Edition or whatever. And all that would really do is let someone just like, you could have like 4 players on the game and then like a 5th player doing like the Wii U pad thing. But like, you're not even playing. You're just like making like obstacles for the enemies or something. Like you're just sort of like a supporting role in that game specifically. Or you could like troll your friends and like trap them within like walls so they couldn't move for a bit or something. But like, that's not really fun for anyone. So like, it's just dumb. And like, like I said, like it's like a Switch, but like you can't detach the sides or anything. So like you're stuck holding that like massive, like whatever you want, like tablet essentially, I guess.
Could you use the Wii with the Wii U? Like the joysticks and stuff,
so you still use like the Wii mode and like the nunchuck and stuff.
Because that's the only thing I actually use. Because for me, Wii U easy D tier because easy D tier. Because for me, I only ever use this. I just did not. Yeah, that's an easy D tier. I did. It was very janky, very janky. So yeah. I don't even have anything else to say about that, but I will have some thoughts on the actual other Wii controllers, so it might surprise you. Okay, so is the next one the PS1 with DualShock?
Yes,
because there's one later that's PS1 without DualShock, which is a noticeable difference.
Just a little bit. I put this one at C. Wait, did I put it at C? No, sorry, I put it at B tier.
Okay.
Just because like it's the first one. For their first attempts, it's pretty solid. They're like, hey, what if we gave them not one analog stick, but 2? And then 4 buttons, a solid D-pad, individual buttons. Also, the shoulder buttons were on this as well. And you have a start select button. And then you have like the 3rd button that like no one ever knew what it did. It like locked your controller or something like that. I don't remember, but like for the most part, pretty solid. The one complaint that most people have about like the PS1 and PS2 controllers are that the analog sticks is too small, basically. Like the analog sticks are too close together. But that's really only when you're like older and you have bigger hands. Like as a kid, it's totally fine, right? Like it's super kid friendly. But even like now, like when I play my PS2, like I don't have any issues with it. So
Gotcha. Yeah, so mine is definitely B tier as well. I think it was a solid groundwork for like, for some of these, newer consoles, you could say. Really, the only gripes that I had about this were the analogs were really close. I think I remember the triggers being a little weird, but it did feel really nice. And for me, I just I appreciate the PlayStation design of the controllers. I think they kind of they stayed pretty consistent with their design, but I don't think it pushes to A for me. Right. But definitely did like this controller when I played it when I had the PS1. That was my first system, my first like big system, as you could say. Besides like a Game Boy. But you what?
I never had a PS1.
I've had every PlayStation except for the PS5. That's why I get triggered that you haven't.
That's weird. PS5. I've had every single PlayStation except for the PS1.
Oh my god, that's so sad. Okay.
Yo, I'll trade you. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't have mine anymore.
I know you keep getting rid of your old consoles, which is a mistake. All right, so next we have the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which I've never used, but I do like how this one has the Smash Bros logo on it. So I've never used this one, so it's hard for me to judge it, but I do know that like you can tell just from looking at it, it's modeled off of the Xbox controller, and just with that alone, and from what I've heard of other people using it, it's B tier for me. Like people like them, like even Sticky in chat says they're great and stuff. First thing I got to point out, D-pad, not a circle. It's great to see. But I really don't have much.
You hate the circular D-pad.
They're just so annoying. Like they're kind of nice for like fighting games where it's like you have to do like down, left, up or something and like square or whatever. But that's something you can also do with like the analog stick. So then it's like, what's the point? Like the D-pad should be precision, and not like freaking a third analog stick essentially. Okay. But yeah, so just from what I've heard and from what I can look at, like just based off of its design, it seems pretty solid. And people say it's pretty good, so I'm putting it in B tier, right in the middle.
I am gonna go B as well. I've actually used this, and I think your assessment's pretty accurate. It's like a box kind of. It is a little weird, but it is better than using the Joy-Cons with the thing that they give you where you can attach it to the the little like centerpiece, so I do like it. It's not something I've used a ton, but when I have used it, I definitely would have good things to say about it. And I like the analogs. They're not too bad. Not too hard to kind of use the controller in general. So yeah, B tier for me. Okay. PS1 without the analog.
D tier. I don't get why they made this. I've never even like seen one, I don't think, in real life. I don't get the point. Like, how much money are they potentially saving from this? Maybe like 5 cents. I don't know, but like, I don't get the point. Like,
Sticky said best PS controller, Bake said trash. Yeah, for me, D tier. Actually, I'm gonna go C tier on this one because I do remember playing with this a lot because some of my friends had this one because my PS1 came with like the DualShock.
Right.
It just felt the reason that I give it C and not D. I liked how lightweight it was. It was pretty lightweight, and it felt good in the hands. But not having the analogs were so weird, and I don't know why. I don't know why they ever did that. I just don't know why. So I'm going to go C tier though, because I did like the lightweight aspect, and I definitely would rather use this over the Xbox controller.
Wow.
So yeah.
Even though the Xbox has analog.
Yes. The Xbox,
wow.
I touch it. I'm like, no.
It's Adam's like, it's so lightweight. It's like 3 ounces lighter. You can like barely tell. Because like realistically, how heavy is an analog stick? Like it's
No,
not
but
like
dude,
2
those
pounds.
controllers were really light. I remember those. I'd literally specifically like, oh, I kind of like this.
All right.
But okay, is the next one the PS2? I think
Yes,
it's the PS2.
this is the PS2.
Okay.
This is A tier for me. Now, some people might say it's just the PS1 controller, but you'd be wrong because this is where they added their signature patented DualShock rumble technology. You know,
Is
so
it
it's like
actually patented?
I don't know, probably. But like, but like, you know, you get punched in a video game, and then the controller freaking like rumbles and like vibrates to let you know you just got punched in a game, and that makes it an A tier, which is one step above where I put the PS1 controller. And like I said, it's basically the same controller, just with that extra like feature. Basically, it still has the super closeness problem when you have like bigger hands, but like I mentioned with the PS4 controller over Xbox, if you ever need to rotate both sticks at once, instead of just using 2 thumbs, you could just put your palm on both and rotate them at the same time. But yeah, it's simple, easy, breezy, beauty.
I'm gonna go B tier. It was good. It wasn't great. It like when I feel the PS2 controller should be an S tier for OTS time. It was amazing. I mean, that is true, but I'm going off of now basically. When you compare it to the PS4 controller, it's just like no shot close to it. I do like it. It didn't feel that much different than the PS1 controller, in my opinion, besides the rumble technology. But I do. You good over there, dude? Gosh. Oh my gosh. But B tier for me. I'm not overly excited about it, but I think it's definitely up there for me.
Okay,
So.
I have another argument for why this is A tier for me. So, third-party controllers. This is my third-party PS2 controller from way back when. It's by Mad Catz. This is literally this solves the size issue. It's like the size of a like Xbox controller basically. It's a little worn, but it also glows in the dark and stuff when you plug it in, lights up. It's great. Got to match square. But yeah, that's one thing that PS2 had going on was like a lot of third-party like really cool controllers like this and stuff. Anyways.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, this one might ruffle some feathers, but GameCube. GameCube.
Do you want to go ahead and do yours while I wind this up?
No, you can do yours first.
I hate that.
I need time to really process mine.
All right. If I remember correctly, I put this one at A tier as well.
Yeah.
I thought it was S tier, but it was only A tier. So GameCube, the Wavebird, or actually technically this is a Wavebird, but it's not wireless. Pretty solid controller. Both the wired and wireless one. Wireless one because like that was like really the first generation where like wireless controllers became a thing. And the Wavebird was actually like smart because they had like different channels that you would set it to if you had like multiple GameCubes in like the same room or something. So it's like, oh, Adam is playing on channel 2. I'll play on channel 3. That way I'm not like messing up his game and he's not messing up mine. So that was a cool feature. I like the layout and the colors of this controller. And like something about it just like, it's very asymmetrical, even though it's like the overall like silhouette is symmetrical. Like the A button's like 2 times as big as like the B button. And then you like have like the X and Y buttons in weird spots and like, then you have D-pad on one side and like the C stick on the other, which is a little weird instead of like C buttons, but like it kind of works. One thing that I didn't like was the shoulder buttons. You had one shoulder button, which was Z, and then you had like the 2 like trigger buttons essentially. And they functioned kind of like the PlayStation one, like you just push them down, but like some games it kind of required like sensitivity. So they did kind of have that. Where it's like you could like push them down like halfway and it would only like do like, you know, half damage or something like that. I don't know, like you would charge up an attack halfway or something. Like I know for like Smash Bros. Melee, like the less you held down the triggers, the weaker the shield would be, but it would drain slower essentially. But But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really a fan of the analog stick because it had like those weird ridges on it, and it would like hurt my thumb after a while. But other than that, I always thought it was like a solid controller, pretty lightweight and like pretty just cool overall in terms of like design, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so
I'm
I can't wait to hear this freaking like F rank.
I have so many mixed feelings on this controller. I've never hated a design of a controller more than I hate the design of the game.
I will
but
admit,
I also like
kid,
the
I thought
GameCube
it
controller.
was
I also like the GameCube controller for some aspects. One, it brings back memories. Two, the A button I really liked, huge A button. Okay, the triggers felt perfect, like just like in my like on my fingers, like when I was doing things, I really liked those, like blocking. I didn't use them that much. And the C stick was the only way I could beat people in Super Smash. But I am so like when I look at this controller, I hate it. Like I hate the way it looks. Like it's so freaking hard for me to rank this one because I'm like I hate the design of it, but it had better uses than I liked. So for me, I have to go B on it because I would love to use this more than the C and D tiers, but it's on the B for me. I can't put it in an A. The only reason why I can't put it in an A is because of how badly designed it is. It just makes no sense. Like it makes no sense to me.
I'm like kind of with you on that. Like I think it was more as a kid. I was like, wow, this looks like really dumb. But like as an adult, I kind of like it more.
They said it's a control designed by a group of third graders with restaurant crayons. I want to rank like in my mind, I want to rank this a D, like automatically. I was gonna rank this a D, but as you were talking, I'm like, man, I would use this over the Xbox controller, like I would, but I just hate looking at it. Like I look at it and I'm like, no.
But it functions really well.
It does. That's the
like
problem.
The buttons are really
I hate it, but I love it. I hate it, but I love it.
My biggest complaint about this controller is the C stick. I miss having the C buttons, like the 64 controller. I never got used to the C stick. I like even in like Melee and stuff, like Smash Bros. I never used it to like jump or do anything. I would always use like the X or Y buttons to jump.
Okay, next controller.
The OG. I put this one at A rank as well. Just because like it's the OG. It's a really solid controller, right? Like even for like it's such a simple design, but also like even for like how like long ago it was like created, it's so responsive. Like you can literally like walk pixel by pixel with this controller in like Super Mario Bros. Like the original Super Mario Bros.
I do remember that. You
can literally go pixel by pixel. It's not just like, oh, you push the D-pad and you take like 5 steps forward automatically. It's like, no, you have like so much precision and control with this. And they were smart enough to have like select and start, but like select never really did anything in some games. Also, what's not shown here, but what should be shown here, the Duck Hunt controller, the gun.
Okay, yeah.
That was, I mean, it's not really a controller, I guess, but only for that game. But yeah, the two buttons, A and B, were like so like responsive and everything. Like the feedback you get when clicking them is like, it's very nice. And they were actually like, I believe they were concave buttons. So like your thumb just rested nicely in like one of the buttons basically. Whereas like most controllers nowadays are convex, which is interesting. But yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's an easy S tier. Easy S tier.
I almost put it in S tier.
I loved the responsiveness of this. I remember playing that the original, Super Mario or whatever on it at my friend's house, and it was great. It was really, really good. And I do actually remember you could like barely edge on, or you could like edge your character onto the ledge of the like on when you're playing Mario, and like I just remember like you'd have to like cheese stuff, and just felt really good. Like I for its time too, the responsiveness is really impressive. So I really liked that about it. So S tier for me. All right.
All right, now we get
Super
to
Nintendo.
not
the Super
arguably
Nintendo.
the most
N64.
interesting looking controllers in the whole thing. The N64 to start with, S tier.
S tier? Okay.
S tier. So I grew up on this controller, and it's honestly really freaking smart in terms of design. People like meme on it because it's like, oh, why is there like a stick in the middle? It's like, bro, my dad has really big hands, and he would always play with his hands on the side handles and not like the middle one. And his hand was big enough to where it could reach like the stick, and like he could also like reach around with like his middle finger to hit the Z button or something. So like, and like it just fits so well in your hand. Like you never really use the D-pad unless you're like adjusting the camera or something. But like you can usually do that with like either the bumpers or the C buttons too. And it had freaking like 6 buttons plus bumpers plus a D-pad, which wasn't a circle, plus an analog stick, plus a start. But like it's just a solid controller.
It kind of looks like a jock strap. I'm not gonna lie,
bro. As a kid, you didn't think that though. As a kid,
I'm not
you're
gonna
just
lie.
like,
First
oh
time
my
I
God,
picked up
this
an
is like a
N60.
spaceship.
First time I picked up an N64 controller, I didn't know how to hold it.
Well, that's because you're stupid.
Okay, so you're putting it at S.
It's S tier, dude. Like,
Okay, it's A for me. It's A for me. It is a good controller. It's
You're
not
wrong.
S because it's not S for this reason. The joystick is the worst joystick ever made in a video game controller. It breaks
they're-
so easily.
bro, I've
And
never broken mine.
when we did 99 stock Super Smash with Sean and you, I remember I would get a blister on my thumb from the joystick.
That's fair.
But I do like how you can hold, like you hold both sides, like you hold either like the right side or the left side. It's kind of cool. But it's A tier for me, not S tier. Joysticks really give me blisters as a kid, and that's not good. I look like a jock strap. But no, it is a good controller, straight up. Like, but it doesn't make it S for me just because of the joystick.
Like, you are right. The joystick is kind of cheap compared to nowadays. Like, I mean, most of them nowadays are still plastic anyways, but this one was just like really cheap plastic kind of. But personally, I've never broken mine. I've never like beaten mine up so much that like they just like sort of like flop to the side and like they don't stick up like in the middle or whatever. So for me, no problems whatsoever. So you were just like manhandling yours like a caveman or something, I guess.
No, I definitely would manhandle it. And here's the thing. I would put it S, but since that was such a big thing that stuck out to me, I got to give it an A. But yeah.
Okay.
All right, Dreamcast.
Now
I love
comes
this
the
controller.
spaceship.
I love this controller, bro.
This is C tier for me.
C tier? Okay.
Because like it just looks weird. Like I feel like I could stab someone with like the ends of the handles. They're so sharp. And then like
You guys are gonna hate me.
It's
You
kind
guys
of
are gonna
nice.
hate me so much.
It's kind of nice because you have like the analog and the D-pad and like the 4 buttons. I don't remember. I have played on it, but I don't remember if it has like triggers or not, or like bumpers. And then it had like the weird like memory card thing. I don't know, but also like my biggest gripe, honestly, the cord is in the bottom of the controller, not the top.
That is weird.
So for that reason, honestly, for that reason alone, it's C tier. But the shape is weird, and like I never understood. I mean, I never grew up with a Dreamcast, but like even when I played it like in college and stuff, I never knew what to use like the middle part for. So I don't freaking know. But yeah,
Base is gonna hate me, man. Yo, A tier for me, Dreamcast.
I hate
A tier. I played the original Halo demo on the Dreamcast at my friend's house, and I played Spawn. Okay, this controller, it looks like crap. Okay, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually plays pretty good. And I remember this being like, just because the fact that it has one joystick and not 2 is nice, because it makes sense to me. Like, because you would use a joystick, right? And they had the really simple layout for the buttons, like the north, south, east, west. You know, they're not kind of like tilted, kind of. I guess like kind of like the original Xbox one was a little bit. Really nice though, because I do remember playing Spawn and Halo on this, and I actually remember it being like a really responsive controller. That's just my opinion and what I remember. Now, that was when I was in 2nd grade. My memory could be really bad from that, but I'm going A tier on Dreamcast. What kind of backwater logic are you going to try to force on us next?
Wait, let me look at your freaking. I hate you so much.
Dude, you agree with most of these except for this.
Oh yeah, Xbox 360 B tier, but Dreamcast, it has one analog stick, A tier.
Dude, A tier, man.
I hate it.
I've been waiting to say A tier since the beginning of this. I knew you guys were gonna hate me.
All right, time to cancel Adam on Twitter.
My gosh.
All right, next up, Wii Mote and the Nunchuck. I put this one at A tier because like it's so revolutionary, and honestly, like even without the Nunchuck, the Wii Mote is like kind of mind blowing because you can play it as like like the stick version, or you can tilt it on its side and play it that way, and that blows my mind, or blew my mind as a kid and stuff. And then the Nunchuck was just like added, like it just gave it an analog stick and like some extra triggers, which was really nice. And like the whole like motion controls was like so like revolutionary and stuff. Like I said before, like the Wii was the most successful console of all time. I don't think any consoles have come close to the like maybe half of what the Wii.
I think
sold,
the PS4
might
have beaten it now.
No, it hasn't beaten it. It maybe like
sure?
got half or like 70% or something. But yeah.
Are you sure?
It's just,
I thought
yes,
PS4
I'm
beat it.
like 99% sure.
Okay. Yeah,
yeah, it's so
I'm really
cool.
dabbling to go S tier on this one. I really do like the nunchucks. But like it felt really good using this controller. I'm really torn on this. It's a really good controller. Yeah, I think I got to go S tier on this one, dude. Like it's really responsive. Like I remember when you click the buttons on the remote and you like felt the vibration, and it like kind of like made a noise and you remember doing that like on the Wii.
This
Like,
just in, I was actually wrong. The PS2 has sold 155 million units as of whenever Wikipedia was last updated, and the Wii has sold 101 million units.
Yeah, I thought that was right, dude. I was like, I'm pretty sure it got beat a while ago.
Interesting.
Yeah, it skyrocketed like a little while ago. I remember seeing like a time lapse. But you remember how you could press the button and it would like make a vibration and like make a cool noise on the Wii? You know what I'm talking about?
Sort of. Like I remember
It was really satisfying. Like, and I love playing
one thing that I also liked was the speaker on the controller.
Yeah. I'm going S tier on it. It was really good. I like the Wiimote. Mm-hmm. Dude, it was amazing.
I kind of want to change it to S tier now. I might go S tier as well, because like I'm trying to think of like things that like pull it down from S tier, but like I honestly can't.
Well, see, I'd rather play on this. The way I compare it is like, all right, would I play this over the N64 controller? Yes. So, like, I like it over that. So.
Yeah, I think I'll go S as well, actually.
Okay, good job.
Just because like I forgot about the speaker, so like every time in Smash Bros. Brawl, you would pick a character, the speaker would like play like a sound clip from the character, and Captain Falcon would just go yeah, and it was amazing. So I would just pick him over and over and over.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Next one's PS3, right?
Yes, the PS3. This is A tier as well for me, just like the PS2, because this is when PlayStation got wireless, but also they added the convenience of the middle button, the PlayStation button. So now you could sit on the couch and turn your PS3 on from like a distance, and it was so nice. Literally, that's like the only thing that they really like changed. The size is still pretty much the same. The buttons, the layout, like all that stuff is basically the same. The rumble, like vibration technology, the rumble shock or whatever is still there. But like just for the added convenience, it's still like A tier basically for me. And
interesting. I don't think you're gonna like mine.
You're gonna put it like B tier, aren't you?
It's C tier for me. I had a lot of issues with the PS3 controller. Just because for me, I like the wireless. I personally like the PS2 and the PS1 controller over it. But it over like I can't put this over the Xbox 360 controller. The Xbox 360 was better than the PS3 controller to me.
The fact that you put the PS3 controller next to the no analog PS1 controller baffles me.
It is, man. It is because The thing is it felt cheap. My PS3 controllers broke. Like I think I broke like 3 PS3 controllers.
So
like
let's see.
it was like like it was cased. Like it had the it like you could see on the PS3 controllers how like it has the lining that like it's like kind of halved. Like if you cut it in half.
Yeah.
Like that broke on like 2 of my controllers. The analogs kind of wore away.
It's because you got tilted in COD, bro.
Dude, I mean, I did play a lot of COD, but like the thing is I did like the wireless aspect, but it just like I would rather play with an Xbox 360 controller.
I would just like to mention, I've never had any controller issues breaking down.
You've been very lucky.
Whatever. Am I lucky, or is it not the controller, and perhaps maybe it's instead the player?
But dude, if I'm literally having like problems and faulty things, that's not the player. That's literally the controller's just not holding up. Like the Xbox 360 controller was a solid controller. Like it held up. Like when we went to go play at Kohl's, I don't think I ever remember the controller ever breaking. Like except for that weird Fantastic Four one that he had that like was really odd. Like he did have some weird ones.
Whatever.
All right. So what's the next one? Is this the wired?
It's some weird Xbox thing. I think it might be like it still has the black and white buttons. I honestly have no idea. Is it like the
PC controller? Is it like a PC controller?
I have no idea. That does look like a USB, but I just put this in C tier because like it at least looks better than like the freaking D tier like OG Xbox controller. But I still
this is the X1 Kenizev, I think.
I don't even know what that one is.
Xbox One. This one right here is the Xbox One, isn't it? Or is this the Xbox Pro controller?
Honestly, I don't. There's been too many. I don't know. They all kind of look the same. So does PlayStation. But like the only thing that this has going for it is the shape. Otherwise, it would still be freaking D tier, like the other one for me. Just because like not much has changed. They moved the black and white buttons like down below the north, south, east, west buttons, A, B, X, Y or whatever. There's a weird, it's still wired. There's a weird circle thing in the middle, which I guess that is like the Xbox button that turns it on. I don't freaking know, but like, I don't know. Only OG Xbox you could actually play with. Interesting.
The last is the Series X.
That's the first Xbox second controller. Okay. So they improved a bit with the shape, which is good.
Yeah, I'm going to go C tier on it. It's better. I think I've played with this before. It is better than this one. So this is an Xbox One controller, but a Pro one, right?
Yeah, these are the ones that we've been playing with for the past few years. I put this one at S tier just because like it's a really solid controller. It's very
it's kind of like this
well.
one. It's kind of like this one. This is like a modded one, kind of, or not a modded one, but like a third party one.
It's basically the same as the PS4 controller, but for Xbox, right? It's got like the 2 analog sticks. It's got a D-pad that's not a circle. It's got some really nice triggers and like bumper buttons. And I kind of like the triggers a bit more than PlayStation, but like PlayStation still has really solid like triggers overall. The buttons are really responsive and stuff. And they did the same thing that PlayStation did where they had a start button and then like a share button. So you could like share, like you could like take a clip and then share it with like your friends or whatever, which was always cool. And then of course they have the Xbox button to turn on from like the couch basically. So you don't have to like get up and actually like bend over and turn on the console. So
yeah,
solid S tier.
It's A tier for me. I do like it a lot. I like it a lot more than the 360 one. I felt like the analogs actually did feel more responsive on this because, like I said, I basically have the Pro variant. It's just a third party one down here. It is actually really really nice. I did like the Xbox button, how you could turn it on from there as well. To me it felt it did feel a lot better. Actually, Bakes, this might be Elite controller. This one's really nice, man. I like this controller, dude. This one's really nice. Just the Xbox Pro, I think that was the Xbox Pro controller. It felt just really well made as well. So Yeah, I'm gonna go A tier on that.
I'm sending you one more in Discord. We don't have to actually show this one. It's just for funsies. Where would you rank the Atari CX40 joystick?
Honestly, man, like I don't remember playing with that. Like I think I played with it when I was like a kid, so I really can't rank that.
Interesting.
I can't rank that. I gotta be honest.
Even though like you haven't played with some of these and you haven't ranked them anyways.
I mean, I feel like I'd like to try and it'd be fun, but I don't know how the response is on that. Like I have touched some of these other ones.
Mm-hmm. For me, I would put the Atari joystick at probably like
Bakes. This has what do you say? What B tier?
I was saying B tier, yeah, just because like it's cool because it's like it's just a stick and a button and like that's it. But like the button's pretty good and like it's just it hits different because like it's just a giant analog stick and instead of using your thumb, you use your whole hand to like move it around and like control it and stuff.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and you kind of feel like an airplane pilot or something.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Bakes. This actually has adjustable paddles. I just don't have them on. There's like 4 paddles that go on this, so they're pretty cool. So I think this is the elite one. Yeah, I think I'd like using that. I'd like to try it out, Joe. But yeah.
Well, that was actually an hour of like ranking controllers.
Yeah, dude. I thought that was cool, man.
Is there anything else you wanted to?
No, I thought that might take up the time, but did you guys like that, chat? Was that fun? Where's the original Apple gaming system controller? No. Oh my gosh, dude.
No, that was not fun. No, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I actually like changed a few of these compared to like, because I did this before we streamed, and I was just gonna show mine and explain my picks, but like Adam was like, no, let's do it like live. So I was like, all right, I'll redo it. And so some of my picks are actually different now that I've had more time to think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's doing it live is really fun. Your script is showing my script. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I really like doing that, man. So if in the comments section, if you guys want to let us know, if you want us to rank other things video game related, in other episodes, it'd be cool. And then we'll do more Pokemon battles as well. But yeah, I thought it was really fun. But real quick before we go, if you want to follow us on the social medias, you can. It is Twitter for Joe the Joe 9. Probably got this on Twitter. Lagged Out show on Twitter. And you can find us on YouTube for Lagged Out. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes for Lagged Out. And again, if you want to watch us play live during the weeks, twitch.tv/probably got this. Joe's is twitch.tv/Joe the Joe. You can watch Joe do Pokemon Go videos over at his YouTube channel, youtube.x4353. No, I don't know what the link is, but it's just Cinder Red with 2 Ds. Cinder Red with 2 Ds.
In red.
And for me, it's just probably got this. No, really, your vid script was on the screen. Oh, it's all good.
Dude, exposed.
It's all right. It's all good. I see what you're saying, Kizem. But rank your live for PS1 non-analog garbage tier. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Joe, do you have anything else to say before we end the cast?
I have an idea for if we do like a tier listing again. I have an idea for what it'll be. I'm not going to say anything though. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, hanging out, all that stuff. I have to go record a video now at freaking 12:17 a.m. So yeah, hope I don't wake anyone up.
Love that. Yep. All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna go and end my recording. Say bye to my
question for me. Okay, what is question? Don't you do it. Don't you do it. You didn't even say bye. You didn't say bye. Okay, well, Adam ended. Bye.